He always speaks out of both sides of his mouth like no president I've ever seen.
Absolutely. And he's dropped in his polls. Because he's dropping in the polls, more and more people now are going to start looking at him, and they're going to start realizing, and they're going to hear about this birth certificate, and they're going to be alarmed because all of your listeners out there have to produce their birth certificate sometimes in their lifetime, 1 to 5 times, 1 to 10 times. They need it for a baptism. They need it to register for Little League. They definitely need it for a passport. Sometimes they need it for applications for college or for various schools or scholarships or driver's license. Different states have different things. And here Obama won't produce the simple birth certificate, which is really, outrageous. It's amazing.
And has that added fuel to the fire, Mr. Berg?
Sure.
Because they keep saying, we've given you the birth certificate, we've given you the birth certificate, and everybody knows what their birth certificate looks like versus the certificate. And people see that's a computer printout, modern certificate. They can see that it's not the original birth certificate. And then, like you said, he's been caught lying about everything else, and his name's really Barry Soetoro and all this other weirdness. Now, where does that bring us to, though, with the other camp, the other birther group, which, I'm neutral on, but we've seen other fake birth certificates come out, not associated with these guys. Now they've got one. Some people, like Mike Rivera, who I respect, at What Really Happened, he's on tomorrow, he's looking at it and saying it looks like it may be a fake. Do you know more today, Mr. Berg, than you knew yesterday about the providence? We don't know Obama's providence. We also don't know the providence of this latest birth certificate receipt.
Early indications are that it's a phony, but I don't want to comment completely that we gave it to our expert, but we're looking at it. There's different things. Because the status of the Republic of Kenya changed during that time. Was it, who was it, a British, or what was it? When was the form changed and all that kind of stuff? And we're getting a lot of questions in here. It looks real. It looks real, but, we have to check other documents at that time. And I don't want to knock it. If it turns out to be real, I'm wonderful, and I'll give the blessings to the other attorney who I don't see eye to eye on. But what she did is she's filed it as part of her court case, the Alan Keyes case in California, and she's asked the court to grant her a special motion so that she can check the authenticity of the document. That's not how I do things. We've gotten several birth certificates over this past year. We've paid for some of them. They've turned up to be phony. Have I posted any of them? No. Why not? Because I feel that we have to, and we have with ObamaCrimes.com, our website. Excuse me. We've stayed very straight and narrow here. We have 3 lawsuits pending in federal court. We're not playing games because we want people to be assured that when I say something, it means something. So I don't want to say it's definitely, I'm not going to say it's good now, but I don't want to say it's bad. But there's indications now by certain things on that document that we've been reading about, we're all reading about on the internet. There's some indications here that it's phony. And I just hope if it is, that we can talk to people like through your station and allow me to speak and say, let's not take this as a setback. Let's just move on, because we don't know. Like, for all we know, think about it, Obama's people could have put it out as a phony document looking good to try to discredit us. Because
that's a classic government trick.
Sure.
Karl Rove has been caught repeatedly when somebody's on his tail throwing out fake documents that incriminate himself to then discredit the whole story. He got caught doing that with Dan Rather and the whole situation with Bush and the Air National Guard, which we know Bush was AWOL. That was later proven correct. But all people remember was Dan Rather getting in trouble. And I'm no fan of Dan Rather, just facts are facts.
No, but I agree that Bush was AWOL, and they just try to frame him up on that document. And you're right. But wait a minute. Well, how can we say this, Alex? I mean, Obama, the transparent president, he wouldn't do anything phony, would he?
Well, absolutely. Them to say that, with all the weird he lived all over the world, and a lot of foggy stuff. Well, now they're asking, how did this certificate of live birth get to fact check, and Hawaii won't say? So they're acting suspicious. What do you think of that?
Of the original document or this document?
No. Yes, the original certificate.
Yeah, well, the original one was supposedly at first, if we think about it, everyone, June 2008, it first came out on the Obama campaign website. And then fact check came in several months later to check the authenticity of it. And they came back and said it's valid.
I think that's the most damning thing, is that no one was questioning his birth in the U.S. Nobody even thought about him. Why would they early on push that out there? Phil, I think that's the most damning evidence against him. I want to ask you in the final segment with you, when we get back, what your take is on that and where you think all of this is going. We'll also look at some of the problems with this new birth certificate. Stay with us. Phil Berg, where do you see all this going? No president has dropped this fast. He just keeps dropping a couple points every week. I don't see Obama and the criminals that run him being able to continue their gutting of the nation unless they stage something. And I've had Ron Paul on last week. He's coming on Wednesday again, saying that he believes they may stage a crisis or a war or an economic collapse. They may use this flu hysteria as a cover. I mean, what are the Obama people going to do? He is going to be the most unpopular president in U.S. history at this rate in just 2 months.
Right, and I think that's going to go hand in hand with the truth coming out that he's constitutionally ineligible to be president. And once we get the public behind us, and I think we will, because what are we asking for? Two main things. Number one, his birth certificate, the vault copy, the true copy of it. But two, more important is when he was adopted in Indonesia. Think about one thing. We have the school record on our website and elsewhere, ObamaCrimes.com, that his name's Barry Soetoro and his nationality is Indonesia. I would like to see where he has legally changed his name back to Barack Hussein Obama, because if he hasn't legally changed his name, think about it. Every state where he signed Barack Hussein Obama to run for president, that was fraud.
See, that's a whole nother issue.
Right.
He went and got adopted by a Muslim family, went to madrasas, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but then he said, oh, that's ridiculous, I have no Muslim roots. Then he goes to Cairo and says, I'm a Muslim, basically. This guy is a chameleon. I don't think he's any of these things. We probably don't even know what his real name is.
Well, that's good. But you're right. During the campaign, I'm not a Muslim. Now that he's president, I'm a Muslim. I love the fact that during the campaign, how dare you use my middle name, Barack Hussein Obama. You had to call him Barack H. Obama or Barack Obama. As soon as he got elected, when it came time to be sworn in, and it came out a few weeks earlier, what did he tell everyone? I want to be sworn in under my name of Barack Hussein Obama. I mean, this guy is a phony from day one. But the big thing, think about it, and if we can't get him on the birth certificate right now, if he hasn't legally changed his name Barry Soetoro, and he's committed fraud ever since leaving Indonesia using the name. Now, it might not be in Colombia. When he was at Occidental in California, everyone called him Barry. I think his legal name today is Barry Soetoro. And remember what happened with Watergate. The Watergate break-in with Nixon was no big deal. It was a cover-up. And now we're in a massive cover-up, I believe, by Obama and the people around him. And I think that's where we're going to get him, because, they had hoped, you asked why they brought this up. I got involved August 2008, a year ago now. But in June of 2008, they put this on the website. The reason they did, it had been circulating on the website for a year before that. So to try to quell the rumors that were going around, that's why they put this false document up. But they were such idiots because they put such a phony document up. If they took time to preparing a better one, maybe we wouldn't be talking about it today.
Well, lastly, people kept saying, we want to see a birth announcement. But if a family wants their child to be able to claim U.S. citizen down the road, and they're born in the country, that's very common to fly back and then put a birth announcement in and then put out a fake birth certificate, especially back in the 60s. So I don't think this silences it, some supposed microfilm on some establishment website. What do you say to that, Phil Berg?
Yeah, no, the two announcements in the newspapers there, that doesn't really bother me. I'll tell you why. Like, for instance, my son lives in a different state, and he had a child till my granddaughter was born. I could have put an announcement here in Philadelphia, and I could have used my address or any address. And it turned out the address they used isn't even a legitimate address, because the people living next door who's lived there for the last 50 years said there was never a black child living next door. So to me, that's just they're saying that's great evidence. That's not great evidence.
Also, these people are intelligence agent. I mean, you've got this spooky, cover-up that has been going on this entire time, where they're acting all sneaky and nobody's allowed to ask questions, and his dad is a communist, and his mother works for these big, creepy, spooky foundations, and Geithner's dad. I mean, this guy gets scarier and scarier by the minute.
Absolutely, and think about it. You know, we forget now, they try to push it away. We forget Reverend Wright. We forget Bill Ayers. The people that Obama associated with, he couldn't get a job as a Chicago police officer, let alone an FBI agent. Or
my God, if I was hanging out with terrorists, I'd be in prison.
Right, well, you and me. No, there's just, we know nothing about his background. He's 100% phony, and we need the public, everyone out there, go to my website, spread it to everyone you know.
ObamaCrimes.com. Phil, thank you. As this develops, we'll talk to you more in the future. Be careful.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Phil Berg.